Okay, success. Yesterday I did get the Galaxy generator working in a way that I wanted it to. I did say yesterday it was a potential rabbit hole. It definitely is. It always is. But I figured out what was making it a rabbit hole. So making the Galaxy generator better is an addictive process. It's an endless one. It will never be perfect, and there's always something to do on it, and you always think you know what it is. But the rabbit holiness is partly that, and then partly that I just wasn't getting closer to my actual concrete objective. I had a real objective for that. It was about making the empires decent size each. None of them should be too small, none of them should be too big, and I didn't really want them to be split up. I had made code that seemed to ensure that, like when it's creating a new region for a faction, if it hits another region, I had to make it stop, because otherwise it breaks up the other region. But I had it sort of redirect itself and bend away. That was what I was trying to make it do. Didn't seem to be doing that. It was very hard to tell, because everything's a big fluffy cloud. And the clouds can be different sizes, and they also are different sprites, and the different sprites have different degrees of kind of opacity. Like some of them are very noticeably I don't know how to describe it. Some of them have solid stuff almost all the way to the edge of the sprite, some of them only have a tiny bit of solid stuff in the middle, and then a lot of very transparent stuff. And so all kinds of factors affect the actual eventual shape of the galaxy, and that's intentional. That's the thing I wanted, because I'm trying to generate things that look different each time. But for debugging, it's a fucking nightmare, because the truth is, I thought I could tell where regions started and stopped, but I couldn't really. And I've done lots of stuff to actually intentionally make that hard to spot, not just the sprites within the region, but also there's a giant sprite behind the region that kind of blurs the edges a bit, makes sure that there's not hard black between the regions, there's still some fluffy stuff. So I realised, like, okay, don't stop trying to put in a final solution to this and expect it to work. Something's going wrong, you've got to make sure you know what it's doing. And so I replaced had all the regions be, every blob of a region be a fixed size. I changed the sprite to a simple circle, and then I could see, oh, this region is 4 circles, this one's only 1. And none of them should be 1, they're all supposed to keep trying until they find a spot for their 2nd or 3rd or 4th ring, blob, whatever. Sure enough, the code that was trying to sort of snake away from another region when it hit it was completely going mad. It was, instead of like starting from the center position and trying this bit, then this bit, then this bit, when it tried to do the next angle, it would start from the position it last tried rather than the original sort of hub point. And so it would jump right into the thing it was already colliding with, and then no wonder it couldn't find a good spot for them. So, fix that, and now I've done the thing I was trying to do, which is I want regions, and I pretty much want them to be contiguous, just like all offworld territories in one place, all sovereign territories in one place. But I didn't want them to be sort of on these little islands that are just somewhat close to each other, because then it feels fake. What I really want is the clouds to be almost like a big mishmash in a really random twisty shape, and then the regions, the empires, to be quite separated within that. Not separated by a lot of distance, but just clearly defined. Here's the sovereign territory. And so what I was trying to do is spawn these regions randomly, but try and put them really close to each other, and when they hit each other, just kind of bend around and just tessellate, basically, fit neatly together. And it totally does that, and it works, it looks good. And I've also, as part of my testing, I disabled a certain thing where it would, a lot of the clouds are very vague and blurry, and then there's some special ones that have a unique look to them. And the old code would place one of those randomly within each region. And you sometimes get the same one twice, and you sometimes get ones that don't really work that well. And so now the new code, because it's all one big fluffy mass anyway, mostly, it will just put one of those special feature sprites, I call them, very, very big over the whole galaxy, and it'd be a different colour. And so that just gives the whole thing a kind of unique accent and a kind of particular look. So it looks really nice, I think. What do I do next? I don't know. I know what the next thing on my big list is. It's to put in new art. The factions each have a unique style of ship, and John has done the art for almost all of them, and we only have the art in for one of them. And so I've put in the groundwork for like having different art styles, but I've never tested it. I've never actually put the new art in. And I also want to know if I'm going to hit memory problems with this. I don't really, like, I guess I won't know until I put it all in. But, so that's a big unknown. That's the biggest thing left that isn't done at all. New art, like multiple art styles for different factions, is not a feature of the game, and it will be. And so that's the last big thing I need to just try. Does this work at all? The question is, do I start that today or do I have a day off? I don't know. Maybe I'll look into it. Yeah. I think I probably will.